Hey guys, MCU Collector here with the next video I have. I'm going to kind of take a break from the Marvel Studios, the first 10-year figures. I know I have the Crossbones Captain America 2-pack to review. I also have the Ant-Man Yellow Jacket 2-pack to review. Before I do that though, I got this today. My good friend Cess, she picked it up for me. I was working, I couldn't get out to a Target. So I said, hey Cess, can you go and get this for me? She said, I got you. So she went and picked it up. So thank you so much, Cess. I really appreciate it. Here we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Avengers Infinity War 2-pack of the Winter Soldier and Falcon. Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson. Awesome 2-pack. This is exclusive to Target. I'm surprised there's no only at Target sticker on the front, which is kind of weird. You'd think there would be, but no Target exclusive sticker. But here it is. Super excited to have this. You know, movie figures. That's why I really want to get it. As far as the figures, Falcon is the same, and I'll compare him to the previous release that was a Walmart exclusive. And then the Winter Soldier looks to have some new parts. I don't know how many new parts quite just yet. I have to take a closer look, but he's not just a reissue of the Walmart exclusive. That much I can definitely tell without taking it out of the package. So really cool. So here in the front, we have the Avengers Infinity War logo there. You can see Winter Soldier, Marvel's Falcon. Here the side artwork, we have Falcon looking really cool. The other side, you have Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. Awesome looking there. The bottom of the package, if I can get the lighting right, we have the UPC there. If I can get it to zoom in, or if I can get it focused. Can't quite get it. Here, a look at the back of the package. Pretty awesome. Let's take a look at that bio. Alright, the bio reads, trained by different armies, but equally prepared to defend their allies from any threat, Winter Soldier and Falcon stand their ground to protect the Earth from other worldly adversaries. There is a close-up shot of the UPC. Alright guys, here they are. Let's get them open and compare them to the previous releases and take a look at the figures. Very exciting. Alright guys, here are the figures out of the package. So my initial thoughts, Falcon is a complete reissue, just a repaint, so some updated things there. The Winter Soldier is actually a lot of new pieces, new parts to him. The only thing that actually are reused are going to be his left arm and his head and the head sculpt, and then even that's going to be different because of the digital face print. So basically the same figures, you know, whether that you can justify paying another $40 for this two pack, that's up to you guys. But for me, of course, because of how I display my figures by movie, these are a welcome addition to the Avengers Infinity War display, which is completely stacked with so many figures. It's crazy. So we'll actually take a look at these one at a time. We'll take a look at the Falcon figures to compare those first, and then we'll go over to the Winter Soldier and compare that with the three different figures that have been released, three different MCU Winter Soldier figures. So we'll take a look at Falcon first. Okay, here's Falcon. So man, he is really hard to get to stand up. It's crazy because of that wingspan. It makes it very difficult to get him to stand. So I'm being careful not to knock the table because then he'll probably drop down. As far as accessories, he actually comes, well, I guess it's debatable on whether or not you would want to give him this. It's the only other weapon. Winter Soldier for sure has one weapon for him. And then this one's also included. But I would probably argue that this would be better for Winter Soldier and not actually for Falcon. And that the accessories, you could call them, would just be his additional wings that he's going to come with. Now this gun is nicely sculpted, but there's no paint detail to it whatsoever. It's just completely flat black there. So it does look good though. But I'm going to actually give him to Winter Soldier and we'll put him in his hands and stuff like that. So here is Falcon. Again, it is the same figure from the Civil War Walmart exclusive single pack. Same exact figures as you could see, and the wings are so big I can't fit them. But they're the same. So if I take the wings off, and then the wings are actually basically the same. The only difference that's really noticeable is going to be some of the coloring in the paint. So you could see it's a little bit more metallic on the new one, and then the black is definitely darker. The black plastic is definitely darker than the Civil War one, but it's not by much. Some of the red is a little bit glossier on the new one compared to kind of a little bit more flat on the older one. But again, it's still not very noticeable. So basically, we're just going to kind of move on and say the wings are basically the same. So we're not even really going to cover them too much. And they're just kind of going to get in the way. But as far as the two Falcon figures, the sculpt is 100% the exact same. So everyone that had issues with the arms is definitely the same issue here. The better of the two is definitely this new of Infinity War 2-pack one, though, because the coloring is a little bit better. This one just has all this gray in it, and it was real flat and just kind of like looked a little dull. Where here it's a little bit darker and more metallic looking, so it almost looks like it's padding or armor that's going to kind of better protect it, and the same goes down all the way to the boots as well. So I do like how that turns out. But there, it's the same head sculpt. Now it's kind of debatable whether or not this new one uses the digital face print or not. I want to say it's going to be just on the lips, and that is it, because you know his eyes aren't even there, so it's not like they're going to be doing the pupils or anything. But let's take a close look at that. So if you can look there, I don't know if you can kind of clearly see it, but his lips does look like it really takes advantage of the digital face print. And then he does have the facial hair that's added onto this figure compared to this one where he just has the goatee. This one he has the chin strap beard, and Hasbro did a good job of applying that. It's just, you know, simple, straight, black line, so it doesn't use that digital face print even for the facial hair, but it does look good. And then you could see right here along the chest the nice red color that's used to paint on there, so it's more metallic look versus this one where it's just kind of a bright red. This one's a little bit more metallic looking. There's really nothing on the back of the figure as far as paint apps go, but you could see that this darker metal color or silver color is definitely better than the flat gray that was used previously, so I do like that a lot more. The Walmart exclusive though on the boots did actually have a little additional paint, that red applied there. This figure actually does not have that at all on the new one. It's all just that same silver color that's done throughout the pants. But yeah, you could see again, same figure, not a whole lot there. Let's move right on into the Winter Soldier. Here are the Winter Soldiers next to each other. I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else has this problem, but I have a really hard time of getting these two figures to stand up. The legs seem very awkward to me. Now this one isn't a huge improvement over that, but it is definitely different because they are completely different sculpted legs, so it's a little bit better than these two. The more and more I look at these two, the more I do not like those figures. This one, because the head sculpt was terrible. The upper torso part I actually like, but this one I just, for some reason, I don't really care for it as much anymore. Especially with this new one. So the new one is definitely a nice upgrade that we have. Again, so it's a lot of new sculpted parts to it. This gun, though, is the same gun that we actually had in the Mandroid Wave, the one that comes with that one here. That one was, I think, was black and red, and then this one is that that silver color with some of that gold vibranium look that matches his arm. So he definitely didn't use this in the movie, so it's just Hasbro reusing some old parts that they have, and it's a little bit flimsy kind of down at the end of the barrel there, but it does look good. And then again, I'll be using this weapon probably more so with it, and you know, I don't know how accurate this would be to the one that he used in the movie, you know, where he's holding Rocket and he's spinning around in a circle. I don't know if this is that gun, but it's definitely the one that I'm going to be using as far as with the Winter Soldier, definitely not with Falcon. But let's take a close look at these figures and kind of compare them. Alright, so here's a close look up at the new digital face print for Sebastian Stan, the actor who plays Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. It's funny that before this figure was even announced, I think Sebastian Stan appeared on a TV show. I'm not sure exactly what TV show. I think it was some kind of daytime interview show. I don't know if it was, you know, Good Morning America or what show it was, but I think he had the figure, but that figure that he had, I think, had facial hair. This one, he has like a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow in there, and it does look good, but it's definitely no like beard, that he had in the movie for one, and then that figure showed. And I think that first official image that was released by Hasbro around the time of Toy Fair, and I posted it and I looked at it on my Instagram today, I think that image actually showed facial hair as well. So at some point they made the change, but the facial hair definitely would have been more accurate because he did have a beard in the movie. Now this figure isn't the best. I think it's a little small, especially here in the torso, but I see what they did to really make it movie accurate to what White Wolf, Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes wears in the movie with that blue jacket. Now, I don't think they can ever really get this jacket look nice on the figure because it just doesn't look like he's wearing a jacket, right? It looks like a skin-tight shirt that he's wearing, and I think that's probably my issue with the figure. Another thing I have is these elbow joints are horrible. I think mine is all bent and kind of warped in there and ready to snap apart, and I don't know if that's going to be because this was sitting in a warm car, but it's kind of been out of the heat for a while, so maybe it's still a little gummy, I'm not sure, but you could see the stress marks on the plastic start to get white in there, and the elbow does not get a real good bend, so I'm not pleased with that, so that's pretty unfortunate. But the good thing is Target exclusives are usually pretty easy to get a hold of, so I shouldn't have any problems if I need to get a replacement at all. Look at the back of the figure, not a whole lot of paint. A little bit on some of these straps and whatnot, but the legs, there's really none. The boots are black. There's a little bit of silver here on the leg. Not sure exactly what those are. Maybe those are refill cartridges. I'm not sure. The Vibranium arm looks good. You can see all the gold in those lines, and it is the same arm, obviously minus the star that we've seen with the other Winter Soldier figures. So that looks good. He's got this gauntlet piece there. That's new. So, not bad. So, we'll take a look at the articulation. Alright, let's go over the articulation. Now, I know I didn't go over the articulation for Falcon, but because that's the same exact figure, I felt like it wasn't necessary since the same figure. But since this one's a new figure, let's go through it. Now, he can look all the way down, so that's good. He can look up a little bit, but that hair around this collar, you want to be careful there and try and get it over, and then you can get him to look up. Not a whole lot, actually, so that's unfortunate. Ab crunches all the way back, but then you get a big hump in the back that doesn't quite look right. He moves back quite a bit, and then you get like a big lump right there in the front. Shoulders go out very far, so that's good range of motion there. Full rotation. Upper bicep swivel, you do get a double jointed elbow, and that hinge is thin, so be very careful there. Wrist swivels and hinges. This one, same thing, bicep swivel. Be very careful with this elbow joint. Mine does not work out too well. And then this wrist hinge is of the roll of the dice motion, so it's a little bit different than this opposite one. There is a waist swivel. Legs go out that far apart. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knee, and that's actually a pretty good knee bend there. There is a boot swivel there. Foot hinges up just a little bit, not a whole lot at all. Hinges all the way down though, and you do get ankle pivot. So good range of motion for a figure, pretty standard. Not a whole lot else going on with it, but this figure, for whatever reason, for me, is a little bit easier to stand than the previous Winter Soldier figures. So I am happy with it there. But the face print is a really nice addition to the Winter Soldier. It really helps get it to stand up compared to this other one that is the same head sculpt. So it definitely looks better. It's definitely the best Winter Soldier figure that we've gotten, even though this one is a really good one that probably works as a comic figure because that head sculpt is garbage. It's not Sebastian Stan at all. But this one was my favorite compared to the Civil War one, but this new one is definitely going to be the one that I'm going to be going with, and I'm going to again use this gun to go along with it, since it kind of makes a little bit more movie sense than the other one. So he doesn't actually have a real trigger finger though. This gun fits perfectly in that hand. This one not so much, but he can hold it. It's a little loose in there, but it does work. So again, that's the one that I'm going to be going with. And then here he is with Falcon. So again, this 2-pack for Infinity War, I think we know that, you know, they stuck them two together because they're like, you know, Captain America's little sidekicks or whatever. See, and I can't get this guy to stand with his wingspan. But it's a good 2-pack. I'm actually surprised to see that it's in store before the Killmonger and Ross 2-pack. Who knows when that thing's going to be coming out? I don't know. Maybe they're going to delay it until Black Panther Wave 2 hits. Who knows? Because I'm sure you guys have seen all the SDCC announcements that came out today. It's been crazy. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a lot of posts already. So an awesome news day. And then to find this in store is pretty awesome. So here is the 2-pack. I do like the 2-pack. I do recommend it for any movie figure fan. However, you know, chances are you could save the $40 and not get the figure if you already have the previous ones. Is this one enough of an update for you? You know, that's up to you. But for $40, or you might want to play the long game on the Target exclusives, because they tend to be very easy to find and overstocked at majority of the stores. But then when they go clearance, they go quick, and then you're thinking, oh man, I should have got it when I had the chance. So don't let that happen to you. Pick this up when you can. So pretty awesome. If you guys don't know, I showed you the UPC earlier. It's a little bit difficult when it comes to Target. They use the DPCI number for their inventory. That's 087163897 to go take a look. But if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching.